It's unlike the Forte. When you bring the audio back, it still retains the nicer qualities of the higher end piece of equipment that, you know, I have here. So I can kind of feel in some way that I'm taking the studio with me when I go.
Hi, I'm here for Sound on Sound at Musikmesse 2013 with Chris from Novation, who's going to show us the Bass Station 2, which I believe is a reimagining of the 20-year-old bass station.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it's 20 years old, as you say, for the original bass station back in 1993. And yeah, so we've brought along the brand new Bass Station 2, mono analog synth, and effectively it's the classic bass station, but brought into the 21st century. So yeah.
Great, so do you want to show us sort of what it does, some of its features?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, of course. Well, Bass Station, it's a dual oscillator synth. So we have oscillator 1 and 2, but also we have a sub-oscillator. Sub-oscillator could be with oscillator, well, is with oscillator 1, and can be an octave below or 2 octaves below.
Excellent.
And yeah, so I mean, from this point of view here, we've got a little mixer here, so we can see the two different oscillators and the sub-oscillator. This section here actually controls the oscillator as well, so we can actually bring the volume up with that. Change the waveform as well.
So what are those different waveforms that are available on the sub?
On the sub, we've got a sine wave, we've got a thin pulse wave, and we've got a square wave available there.
Great.
Yeah. Again, in the mixer here, we've got a white noise generator, which we can apply some white noise to the signal, ring modulation as well, but also we've got an external setting here, so we can actually use this to control the volume of an external input coming in. So that could be guitar or mic or whatever it is you want to play through the bass station, and then that'll get fed through the filters and the effects.
Okay, so do you want to take us through the filters then? I believe you've got a new mode there.
Absolutely. Well, we've got two filters built into the Bass Station 2. So we've got the original sort of classic Bass Station filter in there, but also we've added a ladder filter, which is going to give you sort of nice squelchy sort of 303S sort of sounds.
Very nice.
So yeah. So on the filter side of things, obviously we've got a nice big control for the cutoff there, so it's nice and easily accessible. We've got resonance. We've got a bit of modulation that we can apply to the filter as well. So we've got an LFO and the modulation envelope that we can use with the filter. There's an overdrive for the filter, so we can actually drive the filter sound itself. Yeah, and we've got two different slopes for there as well. So we've got a 12 dB per octave and a 24 dB per octave. Okay. Low pass, band pass, and high pass. On the acid side of things, as I say.
So it's a bit more of a squelchy.
Exactly that
squelchy sound you're getting there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Underneath the filter side of things, we've also got our effects as well. And here we've got a distortion, so I get a bit more harmonic content on there. And then next to the distortion side, we've also got an oscillator filter modulation, which is basically using oscillator 2 to modulate the filter. So a bit like a sort of an FM modulation sort of type effect. So.
Great. So the. So if you really want to destroy the sound.
Exactly right. It's all about exactly. It's all about destroying the sound with those. Yeah, great stuff. Obviously we've got envelopes here as well. We've got two envelopes on there. We've got an amp envelope and a modulation envelope, and two LFOs as well. LFO 1 is dedicated to the oscillators, and LFO 2 can be used to control pulse width and the filter cutoff as well. Next to the LFO side of things, we've got the arpeggiator, which we've got our standard sort of arpeggiation features on there, including 32 different rhythms that can be applied to the arpeggio. And also we've included a step sequencer as well, where we can store up to 4 step sequences in there.
That's a good feature.
Exactly, yeah. And we can, and they're sort of stored globally, so it's a great way of actually being able to sort of browse through your patches and sort of set sounds up as well, you know, so you can sort of set a sequence going and then get going on the synth engine itself.
So can you save those sequences then within the patches?
No, they're stored globally.
They're stored globally,
yeah, stored globally in the synth, yeah, yeah. But obviously with the patches we can actually store those as well. So obviously we can set them all up through the Analogue synth and then actually store them onto the actual synth. So there'll be 64 preset sounds and also additional 64 slots for user memory as well.
Fantastic. And do you have a shipping date and a street price for this yet?
Okay, well we're looking at, it's going to be sort of summertime this year, and the price in the UK is going to be £399.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Chris.
Great, thanks a lot. Cheers.